this UFC card that's going to take place on the White House lawn. How do you decide the headliner?
Jon Jones has made it clear I want to do this, and he sent me a text apologizing and all that stuff, but I need people that I can seriously rely on for this.
Jon Jones just begged Dana White for one last fight, but Dana doesn't believe a damn word of it. The man once called the greatest fighter in UFC history is now fighting for something bigger than a belt. His redemption, his reputation, and maybe the last chance he'll ever have to step inside the octagon again. But what's got everyone talking isn't just Jones's apology, it's the fact that his plea came in front of the world at the worst possible time and in the most unexpected place.
Can't wait to see you compete at the White House. Can't wait to see it.
I know. I really hope it happens. Dana, bro, please, bro. Please. I'm training. I feel great. I'm healthy. And I'd be so honored to represent our country and do what I do best.
Jones showed up at Dirty Boxing 4, not to fight, but to support his teammate Gable Steveson, who delivered a jaw-dropping 13-second knockout. But when the cameras turned toward Jones, everything changed. He was emotional, fired up, and then he dropped the bomb, a public message begging Dana White to let him represent the United States at the upcoming *UFC White House event. A return to the cage under the White House lights. It sounded like a Hollywood ending, but hold on, because what Dana White said next turned that dream into a nightmare.
What do you think Jon would do in the next couple of months that would make me trust putting him on the White House card?
I would not trust him, but I would like to see him fight Aspinall on that card.
If I had to make odds, it's 1,000,000,000 to 1 that I put Jon Jones on the White House card.
The UFC president didn't even blink. 1,000,000,000 to 1, he said. That's the chance Jon Jones has of fighting again, especially at the White House. White's frustration with Jones runs deep, dating back to when Jones pulled out of a $30 million super fight against Tom Aspinall earlier this year. That was the moment, Dana says. The final thread of trust snapped. And yet, despite the betrayal, he still calls Jon Jones the most talented fighter ever. The problem? Talent doesn't mean reliability. Dana says fighters like Conor McGregor, unpredictable on camera, but dependable behind the scenes, are the kind he can still count on. Jones? Not anymore. But listen closely, because in 60 seconds, I'm gonna tell you the one thing Jones could still do to earn his way back.
So they've announced this White House UFC fight. Can we expect to see you on the card?
I can't promise anyone anything, but I have a very strong feeling that I'll be on that card. It's going to be historic.
But who would you take on? Who would be your dream opponent?
I would want to take on whoever's holding the belt at the end of the year.
Any possible names you think?
Well, no, I mean, as of right now, the champion is Tom Aspinall, but we'll see who's the champion at the end of the year. It'd be only fitting to have an American guy fight for the championship that night, and I'd be willing to put it all on the line.
Nice.
White hasn't finalized the White House card yet. He's waiting until February. That's Jones's window. If he can show real commitment, not tweets, not apologies, but action, he might just sneak in. But not everyone's buying it. Chael Sonnen, Jones's loudest critic, is calling his bluff. He doesn't want to fight, Sonnen said flatly. He wants to talk about fighting. Sonnen pointed out that when Jones retired earlier this year, it wasn't from injury or burnout. It was because he refused to fight Aspinall, the one man who could actually threaten his throne. Sonnen believes Jones's apology tour isn't redemption, it's strategy. The same old Jon playing the same old game. But what he said next about Alex Pereira, lit up the MMA world like gasoline on fire.
He keeps on talking about the White House. Jon doesn't understand. Fighters want to fight. Jon is the only fighter that doesn't want to fight. Jon is the only fighter who's okay taking 3 years off to drink some protein shakes, sitting out on a suspension. Now he's sitting out by choice completely, removed himself from the sport, jumped back in the pool, can't decide what he wants to do. I'm just saying, if Jon thinks he's going to find a dance partner in Pereira, and one of the contingencies is that Pereira sits and does nothing while being 38 years old, Pereira's going to sit and do nothing for a year, it's not going to solve the problem. And it's also not going to solve Dana's problem with Jon and the White House, which is show me you're earnest. Jon could get this fight with Pereira. He should be calling it out for February. He should be looking at a date of March and then turn around and do something else at the White House.
While Sonnen and White...
Sonnen says Jones's dream of fighting Alex Pereira at the White House sounds great for headlines, but it's all fantasy until he steps into the cage. And yet even Chael admits that fight asterisk will happen. He said it's inevitable. 2026. Jones versus Pereira. The fight of gods. But here's the twist. Sonnen doesn't think Jones will deserve it. He mocked Jones for drinking protein shakes instead of training, and warned that Pereira's clock is ticking. At 38, Pereira doesn't have time to wait for Jones to decide if he's serious. The UFC, Sonnen says, must choose asterisk asterisk. Either let Pereira chase Jones or clear out the division and move on asterisk asterisk. But wait, Joe Rogan just called this fight something far beyond a title bout.
The Jon Jones Alex Pereira fight would probably be the biggest fight in human history.
I mean, that
in
at
MMA,
the White House?
In MMA, but as a matchup, you got the greatest of all time in Jon Jones, and arguably the most destructive striker that's ever competed.
Yeah.
No one's like that guy.
That
Peloton?
That Ankalaev fight.
He was like, you.
On his podcast, Rogan described Jones versus Pereira as the biggest fight in human history. Not just UFC, asterisk human history. He pitched a new concept. Forget the heavyweight title, forget rankings, make it a BMF heavyweight fight at a 225-pound catchweight. Just two monsters colliding under the White House roof. And after Pereira's savage first-round knockout of Magomed Ankalaev at UFC 320, Rogan's hype train isn't slowing down. Even though Pereira didn't call out Jones that night, the silence said everything. Days later, he made it clear. Asterisk asterisk Jones is the man he wants next. Asterisk. Asterisk.
Como é que você acha que seria a luta dele com o Jon Jones? Que é uma coisa que está sendo conversada agora, essa possibilidade.
Cara, é meio complicado de falar porque o Jon Jones é um cara que eu admiro pra caramba. Quando eu lutei pela primeira vez, o Jon Jones estava lá. Quando eu entrei como revelação, o Jon Jones estava lá. Fiquei segundo, ele primeiro. Então, tipo, é um cara que eu admiro muito. É um cara que, quando eu lutei agora pela segunda vez, né, contra o Michael Chandler, ele estava lá. Então, é um cara que eu admiro muito. Vai ser uma luta que eu vou sentar, né? Com certeza vou torcer pelo nosso prazer, pelo Poitin, mas vou assistir apreensivo porque é um cara gigantesco. Mas eu acho que qualquer cara que ficar na frente do Poitin, independente se é um cara que só bota pra baixo ou não, se ele conectar a mão vai ser nocauteado.
Charles Oliveira chimed in too. He said he'd root for Pereira, but admitted he's terrified of Jones. If Alex lands clean, Jon sleeps, Oliveira said. But if Jon gets his hands on him, Alex drowns. That's not bias, that's respect. And Matt Brown? He didn't hold back either. He said Pereira couldn't pick a worse nightmare. Brown believes Jones's wrestling would smother Pereira, even if Jones spent the last year partying. But Brown added something critical. If Jones wants asterisk true asterisk legacy, he shouldn't chase Pereira at all. He should face asterisk asterisk Tom Aspinall. Because beating Pereira proves you're great. Beating Aspinall proves you're immortal.
A competitive fight, or do we just want Jon Jones back for a big fight? Because those are two different things.
That's exactly my point, right? I want the competitive fight. I think hardcore fans, but that goes exactly right into what I was saying, right? Do we want entertainment? Because what Alex and Jon is going to do is have a ridiculous build-up, right? Like where everybody's going to be pumped. There's going to be people betting on Alex. There's going to be people, just like Conor going and fighting Floyd, right? There's going to be people like, oh yeah, Conor's got a chance. I think Alex has a better chance than Conor did against Floyd, by the way. But you get my point, right? Like the matchup is literally the nightmare matchup for Alex Pereira. Like Jon is as big, probably bigger. I think probably a little bit bigger than Alex Pereira. A heavyweight, certainly bigger. A million times better wrestler. Like there's no possible way in hell that Alex, his wrestling is to Jon Jones's level at this point. Even if Jon Jones is out doing cocaine for the last year and then just shows up.
But here's where it gets tricky. Brown also warned Dana White might chase spectacle over sport. A Jones versus Pereira super fight sells out instantly. It makes headlines, breaks records, but it's a dangerous gamble. If Jones pulls out again, Brown said, it'll nuke the event. That's why he believes Dana's safer bet is still Tom Aspinall. If Aspinall wins, the heavyweight division is reborn. If he loses, nothing changes. But if Jones gets another chance and screws it up, the UFC loses everything. And that's why Demetrius Johnson Johnson's comments might be the nail in the coffin.
You know, which I think we talked about a little bit about the White House card period. You know, is this going to be make the biggest fights you can, or, make relevant fights? And if you're making the biggest fight you can, you go with Alex Pereira, Jon Jones, 100%. Especially if you're Dana and you trust that Jon Jones is going to make it there on time, or, not go to jail in the meantime or anything, right? And but I think it's a no-brainer in terms of like the biggest fight that you could potentially make. I still think he should fight Tom Aspinall, though. I don't know which is really a bigger fight. You got to think like Alex. I know he's a bigger star, but Jon Jones is big enough to carry, whatever fight that he comes back to. And if it's Tom Aspinall, he's fighting for the heavyweight title now, and that makes it as big of a fight as if he's fighting Alex Pereira just to be fighting Alex Pereira, I think.
DJ, one of the most respected fighters ever, said what few dare to say out loud. Asterisk. Jon Jones doesn't deserve to be on the White House card. Asterisk. Neither does Conor McGregor. Legacy isn't a free pass, Johnson said. Fighters who are active, consistent, and showing up should get that honor, not guys who pick their moments. Those words hit hard because Johnson isn't bitter, he's principled. He's the kind of champion who believes discipline defines greatness, not fame. But here's the twist. Jon Jones still holds the power to change this story entirely.
And, in the press conference, he kind of alluded to like, hey, I wanted to ask to fight Jon Jones at the White House. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not excited. I'm more excited for Tom Aspinall and Cyril Gane to fight Jon Jones, to fight Alex Pereira. Only reason why is because these guys are fighting. They've been active, right? Like, yeah. I love Jon Jones. I see Jon Jones. He's a legend of the sport. He's a GOAT. He did come out of retirement because he wants that opportunity to fight at the White House. But I view Jon Jones as one of the legends. It's like seeing Vanderlei Silva fight. It's like I'm tired of seeing fucking guys still fighting. Maybe it's they need to feed that itch. I don't know what it is, but for me, I really see Alex Pereira fight, either go to heavyweight. If him and Jon Jones' path cross, all Gucci. But I feel like this might just be just me as a person. I feel like I just want to see guys fight, guys who are fighting. Jon Jones, the last time he's fought is against Steven Miocic. In my eyes, he's still retired, right? Even though he's in athletic testing pool, he's had a tragic, something happen in his life. I rather just see Alex fight, Cyril Gane and Tom Aspinall. I'm tired of giving these guys, opportunities. Oh, since you're this, you get this opportunity. But for me, it's like, I really just see, if it happens, awesome, it happens. But for me, I'm not fucking, sitting around waiting for it to be announced like I'm waiting for the next Demon Slayer movie to hit the fucking theaters.
Right now, the ball is in his court. The White House card, June 2026, Washington, D.C. is real. President Trump confirmed it himself. The UFC's biggest, boldest event ever. But if Jones keeps relying on social media apologies instead of actual action, he'll watch history happen from the sidelines. If he takes a fight before February, wins it, proves his discipline, stays clean, Dana White can't deny him. But if not, the sport moves on. Pereira rises, Aspinall reigns, Jones fades. Because in this era of hungry lions, asterisk talk doesn't crown kings, action does. Asterisk. And unless Jon Jones steps up soon, the greatest fighter of all time might become the greatest what if the UFC has ever seen.